You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, YNR fans, I've got your weekly spoilers from Monday, July 29th, all the way through Friday, August 2nd. We are going to see Jack Abbott losing control and Sharon in a huge crisis that she is trying to cover up. Things are going to get really dicey this week. Before we dig in, if you haven't, please reach down, click subscribe. And now let's start with the action on Monday, July 29th, 2024, which is season 51, episode 208. We'll get some father and daughter time for Faith and Nick Newman as they are sitting in the park discussing Faith's recent breakup, and then the topic of her mom, Sharon, comes up, and Faith says that Sharon seems really checked out recently. Nick thinks that maybe she's just working too much, but then Faith corrects him and says her mom is rarely working. She's ordering takeout. She isn't eating. She's just staring off into space. And she may not be taking her meds at all because she just keeps staring at them. But Faith says she hasn't seen her mom taking the pills. Meanwhile, over at the ranch, ghost Cassie is haunting Sharon at home. So she takes off out of there, goes to Society to pick up more takeout. I guess she's not going to eat. And she runs into Daniel Romalotti. If you don't remember, Daniel was part and parcel of the whole car accident thing that ended up with Cassie dying. So this is, after seeing Cassie's ghost, is the worst time for her to run into Daniel. And Sharon and Daniel have a talk about that very painful history. And he tells Sharon that she can chew him out anytime if it helps her process it. Daniel is trying to be very comforting, but it's very hard for Sharon to see him. Then Lucy sits down with Daniel after Sharon takes off and tells her dad she knows all about Cassie's car crash and how she died and her dad's role in it. And Lucy notes that she is the same age as Cassie was when she died. That seems like some big foreshadowing. Sharon later runs into Nick and Faith in the park, and she insists that her medications are just fine when Nick asks and says, so is she. As a matter of fact, she's getting better. She's blatantly lying to her daughter and ex. Chelsea and Adam get the very good news that Connor Newman can start outpatient therapy back home in Genoa City. They are getting ready to gas up the private jet and go pick up their kid, and then things go sideways. Over at Crimson Lights, Billy Abbott is talking to Sally Spectra. They are comparing notes, comparing weird things going on with their partners, and then they decide they need to have a four-way chat to hash out everything, to get everything out in the open, because Billy and Sally are both under the impression that Adam was yelling at Chelsea because that was this lie that Adam told, and it's just a mess. Meanwhile, Adam and Chelsea come in. Looks like they were going to pick up coffee on their way to the private jet. And Billy says, the four of us need to talk. Adam says, this has got to wait. Chelsea and I were about to go get Connor, but Billy says, no, I don't think it should wait. The four of us should sit down and talk before you go. Tuesday, July 30th, 2024, season 51, episode 209, over at the GCAC, Jack Abbott completely snaps on Kyle. He is calling him disrespectful. Diane Jenkins and Audra Charles have ringside seats for this nasty altercation between Kyle and Jack. And Diane, while she's at it, writes Audra a reality check, which that should be kind of fun. And I'm sure Kyle is going to come out of this angrier than ever. Also on Tuesday, Chelsea conspires with Adam. She wants to make sure that they have all their ducks in a row, all their lies in sync, so that when they both start lying, all their lies will align. But it looks like things are going to go very, very badly. Wednesday, July 31st, 2024, episode 210 of season 51. Devon Hamilton decides to test his sister Lily's loyalty. Now, I don't know if he's talking about testing her loyalty to family or her loyalty to Chancellor Winters. It's kind of interesting, fresh off that talk with Devon and Victor, where he told Victor that he had asked for Abby's hand in marriage and they were celebrating. And there's more on Wednesday with the mustache. because Victor Newman is making big moves to lock down his acquisition of Chancellor Winters, but his one big concern is Lily and where her loyalties lie. So it's very interesting that then there's a spoiler about Devon testing Lily's loyalty right as Victor is wondering where it is. And Sharon makes a confession to Nick Newman. There's so much there. Is she going to tell him she's not taking her medicine, that she is hallucinating Cassie, that she hallucinated kissing him? This should be a very interesting conversation. Thursday, August 1st, 2024, season 51, episode 211. Devon keeps his agenda hidden. He is playing his cards close to the vest, and he's still a little hurt that Lily hasn't followed him and Nate over to Hamilton Winters, but she is committed to Jill and her company. However, Jill may not be owning that company much longer, and I just wonder if Devon is setting Lily up for failure to punish her, or if he is watching out for her and trying to have her back. Meanwhile, Summer Newman's got a big decision to make, and Chancellor chimes in. Summer has already made what I feel is a gross misstep by waging a custody war against Kyle over a child that is not hers biologically, that she has not even adopted. And this could come back to bite her in court. Plus which, this whole thing is predicated on Summer and Phyllis getting each other really worked up, assuming that Kyle is dating Audra again. Even if he were, it wouldn't be any of Summer's business since he's not even bringing her around Harrison, but he's not dating her. She's dating Nate, and Summer is just running off, acting out. She is being classic Phyllis right now, as far as I can see. Meanwhile, Lily is annoyed on Thursday when Billy Abbott goes too far. He's crossing lines. That thing where he brought in the logo, Abbott Chancellor, because it was supposed to be Chancellor Abbott. Now is Abbott Chancellor, and Abbott is in a font about 4 times bigger than Chancellor. So maybe he's going to come in with something even more outrageous, although it would be hard to imagine what. That was so insulting. Friday, August 2nd, 2024 is episode 212 of season 51. Sharon is shocked. She gets a very rude awakening on Friday. She is clearly in a spiral. She seems to be off of her medication. Now, I don't know if she went off the medication because it was not serving her and she had reached out to her doctor, or maybe she just quit taking it, because sometimes that happens. I don't know if you've ever had anybody with bipolar in your life where they just decide to stop taking the medicine because they don't like the way it makes them feel or how it's affecting them. They feel like they're going through a fog and they stop taking it, and then they feel better, but then they don't realize that everything's kind of falling apart around them. So Sharon's definitely falling apart. Meanwhile, Victor conspires with Nikki Newman to take down Billy Abbott, which is very interesting since Nikki knows that Victoria feels very strongly about Victor targeting Billy. And don't forget, in the Y&R promo for this week, Billy says he thinks something happened while he's directing that to Adam. Sally agrees, and Chelsea then flips out asking, what exactly do they want them to confess? While Adam is smart enough to just clam up. It looks like everything is about to blow up. And then also in the promo, Jack was raging at Kyle at the GCAC for his disrespect, and Victor talking to Nick saying Lily might be a wild card in his bid to acquire Chancellor. That's all the promo spoilers as well. Now you have all of the spoilers there are for next week. Please drop your comments, what you're excited to see. Click subscribe if you haven't definitely. Come back soon. This is Belinda from Soap Dirt. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.